Welcome, Boo Believers. Deadsville director and veteran stuntman. Well, got the sound up. Ronan James back with you for another week of Daily Booze Live. And come to you every Monday through Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern to discuss the day's horror headlines. We used to do this a little earlier in the day, but 5 o'clock seems to work better for people, and it gives us time to get some more headlines out there and get some more news stories for us to choose from to come in here and talk about. So, if you are just joining me for the first time, I know we have some new followers, and I also upload the replays of this show onto YouTube. So if you're watching on YouTube, you can subscribe. If you're watching the replay, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell. Follow the trail of breadcrumbs back to Facebook, and follow me here on my profile. This is where I go live every day, and you can jump in the chat and give your takes, share your opinion, tell me I'm an idiot or that I'm brilliant, whichever you choose. I am a veteran stuntman and stunt coordinator. Spent about 20 years in the business. I'm still in the business. I still coordinate stunts, and I also now produce and direct and create content, as we call it now in the new era of media. And yes, here we are, and here I am. And I have a sitcom, and I just reshared the teaser. It stars the voice of Kane Hodder as our puppet dog tour manager for Dickie Devil and the Deviants. You can check that out on my page. The teaser, I have a reel with just Kane's bits in there, and then there's a full 2-minute teaser from the pilot episode, which I am back to editing, along with directing and writing and stunt coordinating and everything else. I also shoot and edit all my own stuff. So yes, I am back to editing Deadsville Rock and Roll Mysteries. Paul Massey checking in. What's up, Paul? Thanks for tuning in. Joining us for another week here. It's a Monday, January 8th, 2024. A new year of horror. So, yeah, we've got some stories. As you've seen, I've posted some headlines. We will jump into some of these stories. I'll read some of your comments. You guys can comment in the live chat. I will check in from time to time in between stories and read your comments in the live chat. And I'll go on my page and review some of the stories and read your comments there too. So even if you're not watching live, you're not able to check in at 5 o'clock, you can always leave a comment on my posts on my Facebook page, and I will go through. When I read that story, I'll read through all the comments from all through the day. I usually put the stories up as they appear or first thing in the day, and you guys can jump in there. So, all right, enough of me rambling without anything for you guys to look at. The first story that I brought up involved Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein. Maybe before we do that, we'll look at this one on Joe Blow, because we like to look at new movies here. I watch a lot of stuff and review stuff with my partner Steph Infection on Deadsville Horror Talk. You can listen to the podcast or watch it on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Rumble, all kinds of places that you can find podcasts. You will find Deadsville Horror Talk with me and Steph Infection. We try and do them once a week, but we have a lot of other content now that we're working on as well. Emma Floyd checking in. What's up, Emma? Thanks for tuning in. I'll jump back here before we get to the story, because we also have Ben Speck joining in once again. What's up, brother? Thanks for tuning in. Yes, welcome. We have some news today, so here we go. First up, like I said, we love to review horror movies here and look at what's new and what's coming out streaming and in the theaters and when you get to check it out. So, Joe Blow reporting today, Cody Heyman, Suitable Flesh, Joe Lynch's H.P. Lovecraft movie, starts streaming on Shudder this month. And yeah, Shudder is an awesome service. Suitable Flesh, we've talked about a few times. It's got Heather Graham in it. It's a H.P. Lovecraft adaptation. We love our H.P. Lovecraft stuff here. So real quick, I'll read the review. Well, I'll read the article. Stuart Gordon was the master of cinematic H.P. Lovecraft adaptations. Sadly, he passed away in 2020, but his Lovecraft franchise lives on with suitable flesh. And they have a review of it there you can read, which comes from the team of director Joe Lynch, who did Wrong Turn 2 and Mayhem. Mayhem was really good. I didn't see Wrong Turn 2, I don't think. Maybe I did. Screenwriter Dennis Paoli, who worked on the screenplays for Gordon's Lovecraft movie Reanimator, From Beyond, Castle Freak, Dagon, and Masters of Horror, Dreams in the Witch House. So yeah, he's worked on a ton of the H.P. Lovecraft lore that has made it to cinema. And producer Barbara Crampton, who was in Reanimator, From Beyond, and Castle Freak. And I worked with Miss Barbara Crampton on Death House. Very lovely woman, awesome professional, great to work with. Yeah, we had fun. The movie was given a theatrical and VOD release back in October, and at that time we heard it would reach the Shudder streaming service this January. Now we know exactly when it's going to start streaming, January 26th. Described as an erotic body-swapping horror, this adaptation of The Thing on the Doorstep stars Heather Graham and Judah Lewis. Graham plays psychiatrist Elizabeth Derby, who becomes obsessed with helping a young patient suffering extreme personality disorder. But her desire to help leads her into dark occult danger as she tries to escape a horrific fate. Sounds gripping. Bruce Davison, Jonathan Sach, and Graham Skipper are also in the cast. Crampton produced the film alongside Bob Portal, and this just goes on to talk about a bunch of names we don't care about and producers and companies. I watched this Stuart Gordon tribute when it hit VOD and really enjoyed it, so I'm glad subscribers to the Shudder service are going to get to watch it on there in just a couple weeks. Here's hoping it will be featured on The Last Drive with Joe Bob Briggs at some point as well. Will you watch it? So yeah, it's got this is an awesome like 80s inspired poster here. And you see Barbara Crampton. Suitable flesh. It's getting really good reviews. A lot of people put it in their top movies of 2023. It kind of came out late in 2023, and we didn't get a chance to review it on Deadsville Horror Talk, but now that it's coming to back to the, I really dig it. It's definitely got like that 80s Lovecraft fucking video store vibe. Even the font and stuff. Really cool. So yeah, now that it's coming to Shudder on January 26th, Steph Infection and I will have to queue it up on Deadsville Horror Talk and give it a review. Have you seen it? Suitable Flesh? Have you heard about it? Have you? I mean, Heather Graham's always good. Barbara Crampton and who's the other person was in? Well, it's directed by Joe Lynch, who did Mayhem, which is awesome. And one of the other actors was in something recent that I watched that was really good. Oh, no, not recent, but Judah Lewis from The Babysitter. So, yeah, Judah Lewis was the young boy from The Babysitter. So, if you're a fan of The Babysitter a Babysitter franchise as I am. I'm a big McG fan as a director. I love McG's stuff. I really love Babysitter 1. Babysitter 2 had its moments. Still great comedy, but there were some things I might have left out, that like weird fight scene thing in the on the beach. But other than that, I really dug the comedy and callbacks to Babysitter 1 that they had in Babysitter 2. So yeah, good to see that kid working in something else that's getting good reviews. Suitable Flesh. TJ Lachlan checking in. Don't worry, TJ, you're not late, man. We go for at least an hour here usually, right? So jumping in anytime is good. Nikki Leonard. Nikki wants to see the ash. You want to see my ash? Nikki says, let me see that ash. I hope you're talking about my plushy ash and not my ash that I'm sitting on. Because that'll cost you extra if you want me to shake my ash. Oh man, look at this now. Look, I'm shaking my ash. Oh yeah, girls, I'm shaking my ash. Is this what does it for you? Is this the content you want? You want to see me shake my ash? Woo! Steph Infection's gotta love that, just tuning in to me shaking my ash. Oh, I cracked myself up. I feel like Jimmy Fallon, talk show host that laughs at his own jokes, right? Hey, Steph Infection. Nikki says, love them both, brother. LOL. Thank you, guys. Thank you, thank you. Thank you all for tuning in. We were just going over the first bit of news, probably the lightest bit while everybody was kind of jumping in here. We had the Suitable Flesh coming to Shudder news, and I'll bring it up here. There is a trailer. We can watch the trailer. Let me make sure that my settings are correct to watch the trailer, but Shudder, Suitable Flesh, the H.P. Lovecraft adaptation will be on Shudder January 26th. So here's the trailer.
She has the perfect life, the perfect husband, the perfect career.
I want to help you.
I'm not so sure you can. The perfect flesh.
What just happened?
From the
Twisted psyche.
of Joe Lynch.
It felt so real. I was in his body.
And the universe.
H.P. Lovecraft. Who are you? Really?
Italian, come on. Yeah, come on. Lisa! Lisa! What have you done to me? Can't do this.
Sorry. Wrong number. This is a magnificent body. It suits me.
What's going on with you?
Me? I'm just Dandy. Brandy? You're that patient. What happened to Elizabeth Derby?
You have to believe me, Danny.
It's a fantasy to spice up your sex life. I think I'm losing my mind.
This is your time. It's forever. It's him.
Hi, boys. I'll suck your cocks if you let me out.
Too much? Suitable.
Flesh.
Yeah, it looks pretty good. Yeah, not gonna lie, it looks pretty good. I'll be looking forward to that one on Shudder on the 26th. Sexy Lovecraftian horror. What do you guys think? Let's jump to the chat. Oh, Steph Infection says he does it for free. You always laugh at your own genius jokes. I amuse myself. What can I say, Steph Infection? Thanks. Lacey checking in. Lacey Matzik. Thanks for checking in, Lacey. I hope I pronounced that correctly. TJ says, that looks like a fun watch. I'll check it out. Yeah, Steph Infection also said that looks good. Yeah, sexy and disturbing and... Yeah, I like the kid too, the actor from The Babysitter, man. He's really good. He looks like he's gotten really good at acting too. That looks like a really good role. Heather Graham still looks pretty good. Kelly Weber says, yep. Thanks for checking in, Kelly. Mitzi Green watching as well. Hi, Mom. Glad you're feeling better. All right. Yeah, Suitable Flesh comes to Shudder on January 26th. I will be watching that one, and I'm sure we will do a review. I know it made a lot of people's top 10 lists this year. So, yeah. Cool trailer. Piques my interest. I'm in. I will check it out. All right. What should we go to first here? How about let's get this one out of the way. This one was the first story of the day that I posted. Jacob, and this is on iHorror.com, written by Trey Hilburn. Jacob Elordi to play the monster in Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein. Sorry, I get a little ahead of myself. And here we have a picture of the actor alongside Frankenstein's monster. And in our story here, Jacob Elordi has been captivating audiences with his unique charm, showcasing his talent in a range of diverse roles, from playing a complex antagonist in Euphoria to his remarkable performance in Saltburn, and embodying Elvis in Sofia Coppola's Priscilla. Elordi's career is indeed on fire. Adding to his impressive portfolio, he's now set to play the monster in Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein, stepping into a role initially linked with Andrew Garfield. This casting update adds another high-profile project to Elordi's rapidly expanding resume. There you go, another young rising star in the making. Del Toro is both writing and directing. If it seems like you've been hearing a lot about Del Toro's Frankenstein, it's because you have. The project has been alive and active for a while and remains one of Del Toro's all-time favorite films. It goes on to give a little synopsis of Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. Here's a picture of Guillermo del Toro looking creepy in a Cabinet of Curiosities, I believe. Elordi joins Christoph Waltz. Good casting there. Felix Kammerer, Lars Mikkelsen, David Pradley, and Christian Convery in Del Toro's long-awaited Frankenstein. Elordi does have a dark and brooding sensibility to his persona, so we can already entirely see this working. The only thing that would work better is Michael Shannon in the role of the monster, but I also think that Shannon should play everyone. Okay, well that's that writer's take. Yes, Andrew Garfield was linked to this before, and I know wasn't a fan favorite. So before I jump to the live stream, I will go back to, because we discussed this a little bit. This was one of the comments. And here we are on my Facebook page. Posted earlier today. We had a few comments we'll look at. Logan Sear checked in and said, I actually think this is going to work a lot better. John Mahoney, not the biggest Andrew Garfield fan, so I think this could possibly work out well. Gray Bailey checked in, I can't really see Garfield being the monster. And Brittany Fox checked in, I agree with Logan and John on this one. I think Jacob is a better choice for this. Kevin Free chimed in and said, why are they even making a Frankenstein? I replied, well, they've been trying to revive Universal Monsters for 2 decades now. How hard could it be? Kevin replied, apparently pretty difficult. So thank you guys for checking in the chat. You can, or not the chat, on the post in the comments. You can always do that. You'll see stories up as they break or as I get to them throughout the day. I'll try and screen cap the headline and post the story, tag a bunch of you guys who seem to like to interact. If I tag in, you don't like me tagging you, you can always send me a DM. You just be like, hey man, stop fucking tagging me. I ain't with all that horror shit. TJ sending 145 stars, dude. Thank you so much, TJ. Appreciate it. Really appreciate the stars. We've had a bunch of people send stars. Truly appreciate it, everyone. Helps us keep doing this. Helps Facebook push us out into people's feeds more. So, yeah. Truly appreciate it. All right, I'm going to jump to the chat here now, and and see. Kelly checked in and said, I feel like it's a good casting, but I don't like the fact he just badmouthed the movies that made him. I'm not about that. Way better casting than Andrew Garfield. Oh, did he, who, the actor, Kel, did he badmouth some of the movies he made? Elordi? Interesting. I had no idea. Yeah, you don't badmouth your work. I mean, sometimes you... Okay. I've not had the nicest things to say about a couple projects I worked on, but they were projects that they didn't pay anything. It was like the very first, very amateur stuff that I was doing very early on in my stunt career. And yes, you learn. Sometimes you have to make a few turds before you learn to dig a little deeper and not take every project. I know you want to build a resume, but maybe not take every project that comes your way. Maybe do a little bit of research. Nowadays, I work for people I know. I work for people, if somebody would say, hey, I got a project, I want to do this, because you get offered a lot of stuff. A lot of people have a lot of projects that they want to get done and that they want to pitch you. Hey, I got this thing, and everybody has lots of big hopes and dreams, and I just need the funding. And yeah, well, call me when you have the funding. But even when you have the funding, you want to look at the script, you want to look at their previous work. If they don't have previous work, if it's the first time, I'm not opposed to working with a first-time director. But you should have a reel at least with like some shorts or something that you've shot before that you can show people to say, hey, yes, I'm actually a director. I've done this, this, and this, and here's what I've done before. Like, I hated, when I started in stunts, I hated calling myself a stuntman until I actually had some kind of resume to back it up, where I'd actually done some stuff, not just trained to be a stuntman. I trained to be a stuntman a lot longer than I actually was or called myself or felt like a stuntman, because until you've done a certain amount of things, you don't really, you don't have that feeling. So there's a lot of people that talk a good game, but you always want to kind of look for what they've shown you, and what they show you is usually what they're going to follow it up with. So it's usually a good indication. So that being said, I'm going to jump to the chat, and then we're going to get to another story because it kind of relates. But yes, Cohen, Shiver checking in. Shiver, I never get it. I never worked that out. Melons, Cohen, yes. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed the shopping with your man be like videos. I don't know what to call them. The relationship humor videos that I've posted recently that me and Maddie have done. Literally came up with that first one on the spot and decided to do a couple more. And yeah, they're doing really well. So I guess we're going to do more of those. So I do really intelligent videos sometimes. I'll do stuff where we break stuff down. I could do stuff where we really dig it deep. Nobody's going to watch it. I do some dumb stuff where I pick up some fucking melons and go, check out my juicy melons. And there's like, YouTube's got a couple thousand views. It's 1.5 on here on Facebook. It's the dumb stuff. So I hate to say it. It's the dumb stuff. Fucking melons. That's what people want. Me, dual fisting burritos. Tina's big burrito. Yeah, that's the content people want. They want that. That's what gets the views, apparently. So I'm going to give you these awesome insightful reviews and behind the scenes knowledge and know-how and experiences and stories that, I kind of feel I am qualified to give because I've worked in that so long and took a whole lot. But then I'm also going to give you dumb stuff like, how about these nuts? Yeah, you're going to get a little bit of both. So hopefully we'll get more people watching the intelligent, semi-intelligent stuff, right? Semi-intelligent stuff. But yes, I hope you enjoy the relationship humor we're putting out there right now. All right, Kelly says he was in the kissing booth and it was huge. You can totally regret things and grow, but he was saying pretty bad things. Okay, like he felt dead making them and made him sick. Yeah, I mean, sometimes people take paychecks. I've worked for some companies that I might not totally agree with or, have the same views with, but it's a paycheck. You're a professional. Sometimes you just got to take a paycheck. But then again, like you're saying, Kelly, totally agree with you. You be a professional and you took the paycheck. Now don't badmouth it afterwards. If you didn't have anything bad to say when you were taking the paycheck, don't come out now and go public and say a whole bunch of bad stuff about somebody that wrote you a paycheck. I don't say bad things about people that write me paychecks. I love people that write me paychecks. I might say some bad stuff about some actors that I've worked with because they didn't write my paychecks, and fuck them. I'll have some stunt stories soon. I got some stunt stories from some dickhead actors and some really awesome actors who I've worked with that I've been thinking about doing little videos with, and I think I'm going to do a couple of them at least. So maybe we'll hear about some of these shitty to work with actors and some of the better ones to work with. We'll see. But yeah, as a professional, you don't talk bad about the person who writes your paycheck, because 9 times out of 10 you're going to be looking for more people to write paychecks down the road, and if they see you talking bad about the person that wrote your paycheck before, well, then they're going to go, why am I going to write him a paycheck if he talks bad about people who write him paychecks? Right? I mean, that's common sense, I would think. So, Justin Seelig checking in. What's up, brother? Thanks for checking in, Justin. Appreciate it. Kelly Weber, until then, you were just the guy who jumped out a window. LOL. Victoria Welch checking in. Hi, Victoria. Thanks for checking in with us today. We do this every Monday through Friday at 5. Talk the latest horror news, read your comments, have some laughs, talk about what's going on in the world of horror, and a little comedy, maybe some sci-fi, toys, that kind of stuff. Whatever we feel like. Some pop culture here, but in the horror vein. TJ says, you have to do the gag, is my cucumber bigger than yours? The old Animal House bit, yes. All right, we did talk about cucumber bits. There's a lot of comedy in the produce section for these stupid fucking videos, these little reels that me and Maddie are doing. So yes, Chris Eller checking in. What's up, Chris? Thanks for tuning in. Cohen says, we live in a society where people have the attention span of a chipmunk. The short, dumb shit sells. It must. I do videos like this every day, and I repost the replays, and we discuss horror, and we go in depth, and we talk about all this stuff, and it gets some views. I'm not going to say it doesn't get some views. We get some views, but not like these stupid 15-second, hey, babe, juicy melons, blah, 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 shopping, embarrassing my girl in public. People love that. People love that. Kelly says, hell, well, who doesn't hold a cucumber like a dick every time they see one? It's relatable, right? Exactly. And who doesn't go to the shopping with their man? And if your man isn't embarrassed, ladies, if your man isn't embarrassing you while you food shop together, then he's not doing it right. All right, y'all should be having fun everywhere. I'm a silly motherfucker. So, Anna Ogier checking in. What's up, Anna? Thanks for tuning in. Kelly says, exactly, take your money and go. Right, yeah, for the show, for the actor. Steph Infection, wait, I just rejoined. What's wrong with saying something negative about a movie? Tell me how you felt about Death House. Oh, I missed who he badmouthed, especially known actors, bad move. Yeah, Steph, catch up later. We're talking about they wrote him a paycheck, then he badmouthed The Experience. And talked about how he felt dead inside while working on a movie while these people were writing him a paycheck. I never felt that. I had a blast. You brought up Death House. I had a blast working on Death House. We had so much fun, and I would never say anything bad about the people that I worked with on Death House and the people that hired me on Death House and the experience of working on Death House. I just wish that the finished product, I feel like they probably all feel like it too. They all probably feel the same way. We all wish that the final product was a little better. That's all. We all had more money and could have taken our time and made the final product a little better. But man, I will never badmouth The Experience. I had a blast working with Harrison and that whole crew there, man, and bringing all my people in and working on the legendary Gunnar Hansen's script. Man, that was a blast. I'll never say bad things about the production and the people behind it. So that was more what it was. He was talking about while he was working and how he felt dead and hated being there and all that kind of stuff. So, all right, we're going to move on from that now. We have plenty more horror news to get to. We just covered the Guillermo del Toro news. So we've got Five Nights at Freddy's news and Winnie the Pooh news. We got sequel news coming up. What should we tackle first here? Let's jump to, which one would be the bigger turd? All right, this one maybe has a shot. They're going to have so much money behind this, man. Maybe it'll be good. There's going to be so much money because it made so much money. So we're going to jump to this Five Nights at Freddy news first here. And I'm on iHorror.com. Anthony Pernica reporting. Josh Hutcherson chats about the upcoming Five Nights at Freddy's 2. All right, and here we have a little screen cap from... Well, amalgamation there put together. Josh Hutcherson, the lead actor from the blockbuster Five Nights at Freddy's, chatted with Variety about the upcoming sequel set to start production in New Orleans in the spring of 2024. The 2023 supernatural horror film based on the popular video game franchise has generated significant anticipation for its second installment thanks to the massive success of its predecessor. In his conversation with Variety, Hutcherson revealed that the team behind the sequel is actively working on the storyline and is looking forward to beginning production soon. His enthusiasm for returning to the set is evident as he reminisced about the enjoyable experience of working with director Emma Tammy on the first film. And there's a picture of Josh. And surprisingly, one of the only times in the movie when his eyes are open and he's awake. Oh, man. Yes, so many problems. So many problems. But it made so much money. I guess, again, proving our point about stupid people. I know they're in the process right now of nailing down the story, and they want to get going as soon as possible, Hutcherson said. Obviously, the fans are amazing and die hard. For me to be part of it was so cool and phenomenal. We hoped it would connect with audiences, he continued. But I don't think that anybody, even on our side of things, expected it to really connect the way that it did. I'm dying to get back on set. Emma Tammy, our director, was fantastic, and it was such a fun world to play in. I'm excited to see what they are doing next. Hutcherson's excitement extends beyond the set as he shared a delightful anecdote about his Hunger Games co-star Jennifer Lawrence. Lawrence texted in to celebrate the success of their respective films, with Five Nights at Freddy's dominating the box office and her film No Hard Feelings topping the Netflix charts. Jen texted me when Freddy's came out. Hutcherson said she was like, my movie's number one on Netflix and yours is number one at the box office. Let's go. I was like, I love you. Oh, isn't that sweet? Team PETA. Yes, Kelly. Team PETA. The original Five Nights at Freddy's, a horror film adapted from the popular video game franchise, was a monumental success for Blumhouse Productions. It grossed an impressive $289 million worldwide, setting a new benchmark for the studio. This commercial triumph has significantly heightened expectations for the sequel. Okay, and yes, there's a making of featurette. In case you are not familiar, Steph Infection and Maddie Meek and I did a review of Five Nights at Freddy's. You can watch it on Deadsville Horror Talk, listen to it on Deadsville Horror Talk, on Spotify and everywhere podcasts are streaming. And if you listen, you will see we just don't get it. I get it. I absolutely get it. I get it. This thing did not do these numbers because it's a good movie. It is not a good movie. It's a terrible movie. It's a fucking terrible movie. But the Five Nights at Freddy's mystique and lore, and first of all, the video game fan base is huge. And on top of the video game fan base being huge, I've never played the video game. But me, as a gamer and horror fan, I have heard the talk of Five Nights at Freddy's for over a decade, and how this movie was coming, and how they're going to make the movie, they're going to make the movie, and the Banana Splits movie was supposed to be that movie, and then Willy's Wonderland was supposed to be the movie, and that's supposed to be this now, finally, it's finally the movie. So there was just so much hype around this movie. I think that more than anything else is why there was so much money at the box office. Plus, it was PG-13. Kids love it. It's definitely a gateway type of horror. But still, like, I had trouble staying awake. Like, Peter's falling asleep in the movie all over the place, and I'm falling asleep watching this shit in the theater. I'm like, oh my God. So where did we watch it? I think we watched it at home. I don't even remember. But at any rate, I don't know how kids with the attention spans that they have today would be able to sit through some of this stuff, like not any part that wasn't the animatronics. Like, man, they must have been on their phones or something during it and just waited for the stuff, the animatronic bear to come back on screen. I don't know, man. I don't get it. But yeah, Kelly checking in here says, isn't Five Nights a kid thing? And sure, it is, but it was also, I mean, it's a game that's been around for so long that the kids who started playing it are now adults. So it's now an adult thing. And it's also horror. And it's got killing kids in it and stuff. And I mean, even though there wasn't much blood to it, it was still, there was still like death and murder and all that. So I don't know. I mean, hopefully they make it with a better script. I feel like this was like a rushed kind of deal that they put out there. And again, I felt like there was like this whole Hollywood forced trauma of his brother being abducted and him having to keep going to sleep to try and solve the mystery of who abducted his brother. Like, oh man. Lauren Murphy checking in. Hi, Lauren. How you doing? Thanks for joining us. We are talking about the Five Nights at Freddy's sequel. We're really talking about Five Nights at Freddy's first movie and how we can't believe how much money it made because it was such a terrible movie. But that's the power of fan service. Totally the power of fan service. So, Steph Infection says, even as a kid's movie, it was horrible. Well, that's what I said. I don't know how as a kid's movie, kids would enjoy it because there's so much like slow, depressing, the main character sleeping on the job kind of stuff going on that I'm just like, oh man, it was tough to watch. It was a tough watch. Don't get me wrong. And I like Josh Hutcherson and I like Matthew Lillard and I thought the fucking animatronics looked awesome. I mean, that more than anything was probably why everybody loved it. I could see when they finally show the animatronics on screen and everybody got to see them, I guarantee all the kids in the audience were like, yeah, yeah, and they went fucking nuts. And that was, and I got, you're watching it with your friends who also play the game. Believe me, as a theater experience, I could understand how it could be a fun time if you're like really into it. Just as a movie, man, as somebody who like works in movies, watches movies now and reviews movies, and talks to you, does a podcast where we talk about the good and bad, our takes on the good and bad in movies. It's a tough one, man, to really like to get behind other than the special effects. So Cohen checks in, bro. Do I have to bring my Xbox down there and get you to play this shit in the dark with my headphones on? Guarantee you'll scream fuck and throw the controller across the room in 10 minutes or less. Yeah, I've never played it, dude. I've never played it. You have it on Xbox? But that's what I'm saying. Like, they didn't even have, I heard the game is like a bunch of jump scares. The movie didn't have any jump scares in it. There were no jump scares. Like, how do you make a movie about a game that the main mechanic is jump scares and the main draw, because it's a horror game, is jump scares, and then you make this PG-13 movie where you already know you're not going to have a whole lot of blood in it because it's PG-13, and you don't just chock it full of jump scares. Like even little fucking, what's his name, Balloon Boy. Even Balloon Boy, when they showed him, it wasn't even a fucking jump scare, and that's like his whole purpose. I just know this because Maddie Meek was our expert on, she was our Five Nights at Freddy's expert on the podcast when we did the episode. So we got to have somebody who actually knew the game lore while we reviewed it from a movie standpoint. So real quick, Sal Sermania checking in. What's up, Sal? Happy New Year, brother. Thanks for tuning in. Chris Gianetti checking in. What's up, Chris? Hope you're well. Happy New Year. Thanks for tuning in. We're talking about Five Nights at Freddy's. The sequel is coming. Hopefully it's better than the original. We're all baffled as to why it made so much money, but I mean, we're not that baffled, are we, people? We're just agreeing it was a bad movie. We know why it made money. It's fan service. That's all it is. It's fan service, and that's what people wanted. Now that it's a fucking huge success, Diana Joseph, thanks for checking in. We're talking Five Nights at Freddy's. Now there's a huge success in the sequel to Five Nights at Freddy's. Now they have a whole bunch of money. Blumhouse has lots of money they can invest now to go make the sequel and really take their time, hopefully with a script, or at least, man, get a good script writer in there to give it good revisions or something, man. Please don't give us another falling asleep at the job. Josh Hutcherson, Please, please, I can't take it again. I can't take another movie of watching a guy fall asleep. I can't do it. Sin Ewers checking in. What's up, Sin? Happy New Year. Hope you and the fam are well. Thanks for joining us. We're talking Five Nights at Freddy's, making a shit ton of money, and still being a bad movie. Oh, man. Sal says hi. Thanks for checking in, Sal. Appreciate it. Jumping in the chat. If you enjoyed the Five Nights at Freddy movie, comment. Jump in the chat. Let me know. If you agree that it was fan service, special effects were really good, but man, that story, whew. Let me know what your thoughts are. We're going to jump to the next story in a minute here. What else do we have? We already looked at that one. Oh, man, it's the next sequel. We got another sequel coming up here in the news. Get ready, folks. It's another sequel no one asked for. Or maybe they did. I guess some people did. I saw some people like the original. So I guess we will find out. Let's jump on over, shall we? iHorror.com. And we've got the Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey 2 drops 2 new first look images. And I'm going to have a lot to talk about on this one. This may be by rant. Yes, Pooh! Ashley Cohen, Pooh 2. Hashtag Pooh 2. I'm going to hashtag these stories Pooh 2. So you know what what to look for. So this one comes to us from Elijah Turner on iHorror.com. I've got a couple new images here, and here's the first one. And so I've read that we're going to go through this because this movie has made a shit ton of money. And I read a recent interview with this director, and he's kind of warning people not to kind of do what he did. It's funny, and we're going to get into it. But one of the things that he said was that the masks are going to be better. I'm still not sold on the whole... Like, that's why I turned it off in 5 minutes on the first Pooh movie. A little mini rant. I can't, and because this is what's going on now. Here we go. Here it comes. Here it comes. Hashtag Pooh 2, Cohen. TJ, bring on the Pooh rant. And this is the general rant because now we've got the fucking Mickey's Mousetrap following in the Pooh footsteps. At least the mean one didn't do this. The mean one had really good prosthetic makeup, and he really looked like the Grinch in a little Grinch outfit. It wasn't just a person wearing a mask. The Grinch actually was pretty good. David looked really good as the Grinch and was awesome as the Grinch. I made it through the mean one solely because of David Howard Thornton as the Grinch. All right, so who you know as Art the Clown, he plays the Grinch in that movie. Other than that, these movies where they take a mask and slap it on a guy in a hoodie, stop it! Fucking stop it! Oh, stop it! Now they did it in Pooh. They did it in the first. That's why I turned it off in 5 minutes. I couldn't even. I had read reviews after I turned it off, and I was like, man, this can't be a good movie. So I went and read reviews for it, and everybody said the same thing: no tension building, no character development, just one stupid kill after another with nothing in between, and terrible mess and all. So. That was the complaint. It seemed like a total rush job and just somebody trying to cash in on the IP and make a name for themselves and make a shit ton of money. And we're going to go through how much money it made, but it seems like that's what this guy succeeded in doing. So I'm ranting on these other guys that are now trying to do it. But at the same time, I'm going to have something positive to say about this dude, because if this director takes the $50 million, I think it is, $50 million that he made from the cash grab. Yes, Chris Giannetti, I totally agree. It was an absolute cash grab. The IP was coming up on public domain, and he saw the opportunity, seized it, and it was smart on his part. I'm going to say that. The movie was complete garbage, but it was smart on his part. Now, his job now is to make this fucking sequel good. Somehow take all that money and make a good fucking movie, because no excuse now. Your last excuse was you made that first piece of shit movie for like $10,000, I think it was. That's what, $10,000 I think was his budget, and he made $50 million. Okay, just think about that for a minute. His budget was $10,000, he made $50 fucking million just on the name alone, and turned out a complete piece of shit. Okay, so The only way this is a win. The only way this spins into a positive is if he's a really good filmmaker, and literally just use that to get the money to make, a good movie. Of course he's going to follow up a success story with a sequel. Make it good. I'm going to give you I might never go watch the first one, but I'll tell you what, dude, if you've got $50 million to go make your sequel, I'll give it a look. I'll give it a look. I'm looking at the mask right here. Here's the first look, and he said the masks are going to be better, and this looks better. I'll give him that, man. It looks better. It's like just a quick glimpse. They got the blood in the eye. We've got it looks like it's more glued down onto his face. The hair on it looks like it's like a matted, at least it's got hair all over it, and it's not just like a slick latex mask. It's a hairy mask. We can see the hair, we can see the fucking nose. Even though the focus is on the eye in this extreme close-up, you can see that the nose looks like texture. We got ripples and stuff in the skin, and it looks like it looks like a very good mask. It looks like a really good mask. I'm gonna give him that. Oh man. Cohen checks in. Steamboat Willie is next. Yeah, that's what we're saying. Mickey's Mousetrap. It's like a dude in a hoodie with a shitty fucking Steamboat Mickey mask, Steamboat Willie Mickey mask, and he's got like a fucking Dollar General carving knife. He's got like a Dollar General cutting board knife, dude. It's fucking ridiculous looking. All right, here we go. We're going to dig into this story because I want to get all the numbers correct for you guys. You guys are going to hear these numbers and you're going to be blown away, and you're going to think, man, I should just go make a Steamboat Willie piece of shit movie. Jagged Edge Productions announced not too long ago that Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey would be getting a sequel. Now the movie is set to debut in February of this year. There is no trailer yet. It's already fucking set to debut. Dude, holy shit. There's no trailer yet, but it is rumored to come out, and that makes me skeptical that he could do it. I guess he could. If you have enough money and manpower, you can get shit done. I just worry about the script. Okay. There's no trailer yet, but it is rumored to come out at the end of this month. That said, they have released 2 new first look images from the film that tease what we are in store for. You can check them out below, and here we go. We've got one of our actors. First look, Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey 2. Hashtag Pooh2. While little is known about the plot, what we know is that the film is set to follow the 100 Acre Woods characters as they leave to wreak havoc on the small town of Ashdown and find Christopher Robin. First look at images, Winnie Pooh 2, and there he is. Pooh looks he looks better, man, just that little bit. I'm hopeful, at least. I'm going to be optimistic. I'm going to root for this dude. I'm an independent filmmaker. I'm going to root for this dude. Make a good movie so I can respect you, dude. Please make a good movie. I'll respect the shit out of you if you make this good. All right, here we go. All right, it didn't make 50 million. Okay, sorry. Here's the actual numbers. When the first film was originally announced, it stirred major controversy among people and major backlash. This didn't seem to hurt the film as it made a total of over $5.2 million on a super small budget of $100,000. Okay, that seems more realistic. $100,000 was the budget, made $5.2 million. That's still a shit ton of money to go make a sequel with. Holy shit. Fuck, $5.2 million off of a $100,000 movie. This greenlit the sequel, which the director announced would have at least 5 times the budget of the first film. All right, so that's $500,000 at least he's dumping in there. The film is said to have 30 plus kills and way more gore than the first film. It is also said that the costumes will look much better. They couldn't have looked much worse. Let's not kid ourselves. Let's be honest. They could not have looked much worse. So I would hope they look better with 5 times the budget. The film will be directed by Reese Frake Waterfield, who directed the first film. The film was written by Matt Leslie, who is known for Summer of '84. Okay, Summer of '84. That was what was that on? That was on Shudder. Yeah. Summer of '84 was a Shudder jig. It was kind of like a Stranger Things kind of vibey riffing thing with like a serial killer instead of supernatural antagonist. The film will star Scott Chambers as Christopher Robin, Ryan Olivia as Winnie the Pooh, and many others. This is one of many horror films centered around childhood characters that are set to be released this year. This list includes, are you ready folks? Get your checklists ready. Bambi the Reckoning, Cinderella's Curse, Mickey's Mousetrap, Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey 2, and let's not forget Steamboat Mickey, which is the one being done by the director of The Mean One, who's also going to try and cash in on Steamboat Mickey 2. So there we go. Oh, man. So what do you guys think of these twisted takes on childhood tales? You can comment below. Christian Eddie says, are you going to make a Tarzan horror flick? That's not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. Tarzan comes back. They like rescue him as a child. They bring him out of the wilderness and bring him to civilization, and he starts eating people. Because that's what he did in the woods, in the jungles. There it is. Somebody's going to take that and run with it. Is Tarzan public domain yet? What's the next public domain? What's the next public domain IP we can mine? Because that's what's hot in the streets these days. IP mining public domain shit. There's a trailer for Mickey's Mousetrap here. There's a trailer for Pooh Blood and Honey. I mean, you could just look at the trailer for this thing and it looks bad. The first one. This is the first one. I mean, that you see the mask already.
You're the first person I ever shown this place to.
Why am I so special?
Soon, we'll be Christopher and you up. We should be close now.
We're not going to find them.
We will. Pooh, Piglet, Eeyore, we were friends for many years, and they're out there.
Christopher, we need to leave. Now.
I really need to find out what's happening there, okay?
It just doesn't make any sense.
What's the town called? And did you say how to fall? We need to go. There's Laura's there. There's someone else outside. What was that?
Oh my God.
Why are you doing this, please? I would have never left, I swear,
Look, man, I can't take anymore. I just don't get the mask thing. I just have so many questions. I don't get it. How the fuck? He said Christopher Robin's talking about like playing with them for years, and you got to go check on and see. So are they the other boys, little boys he was playing with, and they used to wear the masks? Like they're dudes in masks. Obviously, they're not like. It's just so bad. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. All right. Chris says the book is hitting public domain this year. Oh, for Tarzan. No shit. Huh. Tarzan. Horror of the Jungle. Might not be a bad idea. I might have to get in on this. Oh, man. All right, well, let's see if there's anything else in the news we should catch up on here in our... Some Emmy wins. Bloody Disgusting. What's going on with you? Bloody Disgusting. What do you guys think? Would you give Blood and Honey 2 a shot? If the creatures look better? If they're actually creatures and not just guys in masks? In like jumpsuits and gloves? Is that all it takes? I mean, shit. I could make a fucking scary... I mean, I guess that is all kind of all it takes when you do Michael Myers. But if Bloody Disgusting's not coming up, Joe Blow's coming up. Nah, there's nothing really else popping up in the news. Oh wait, here we go. Here's one we can talk about. I saw this one earlier too. We could jump over here and take a look at this. Boo Believers. Oh yeah, you know what? I think we have comments. Yes, we have some comments I will read. Because you guys did comment earlier on Facebook, because I did post this Winnie the Pooh story. So, let's read some of your comments. No, I don't want most relevant. I want all of the comments. There we go. Mark Bartley checked in from Canada saying, still haven't watched the first one, LOL. Yeah, I don't think you missed it, Mark. I didn't watch the first one either. We're talking about Blood and Honey here. I'll bring it up. So there was my story from iHorror. And, yeah, Reese Bowling, Absolutely Wicked. Thank you for the tag, brother. Anytime. Brittany Fox checked in, said, another one? Has the planet gone mad? I asked the same thing, Brittany, but, I mean, he made it himself, right? So he, independent movie, he made enough money to go make another one. I don't think anybody asked for it, but he's going to make it. Maybe they did ask for it. Some people dug it, I guess. Yeah, here we go. Logan Sear chimes in. I love the first one, so I definitely have high hopes. There you go. Jordan Kucharski. I never saw the first one because the reviews told me all I needed to know. It doesn't try to build suspense, likable characters, or anything of the sort. Instead, opting to just stitch a bunch of grisly murder scenes together, and I hate movies like that. If they can make a movie that's enjoyable beyond the gimmick of it being poo, then sure, I'll check it out. And yeah, that's kind of where I was. I replied to Jordan saying I'm in the same boat, I think. I turned the first one off after 5 minutes because it looked so cheap and bad, but it made over $5 million. So, guys, a budget for the second one. I'm at least curious. Yeah, I'm curious. I'll give it a shot. Please have a better script. Please, that's all I ask. Jesse Zito checked in and said, it was rough getting through the first one, and I don't like these cheap movie of killer in black hoodie and insert character mask. He has a bigger budget. Did the director win a $5 scratch off? Oh, hallelujah. But all seriousness, I really don't know if I'll see the sequel anytime soon. And yes, the first one, the budget was so bad. It's obviously so bad. Kira Stevens checked in. I don't know. They're making a number 2. The first one was horrible. Couldn't even finish it. Kira, same, Kira, totally. Kira, again, more importantly, there was no Tigger in the first one. And yes, they say there will be Tigger in this one, Kira. I replied, there will be Tigger, and they have a bigger budget, so we'll see if we get a Tigger in hashtag Poo2. Poo2! Kara checked in. Hey, Kara. I didn't watch the first one. I doubt I'd see a second one. It's wasted potential. I'd have been way more interested in a killer haunted toys storyline than a dude in a mask doing the same stuff we've seen in 7,000 other movies for the last 20 years. They could have gotten so creative with the idea, and instead they rushed to push out the first thing they could. It's so disappointing. And that was my definitely my take on it as well. Kira nails it. Kara, sorry, I keep reverting back to it. Kara corrected us, and I sometimes revert back to it. Yeah, that was my biggest problem with it. Was like, when I first heard about it, I was in. I was like, oh yeah, they're gonna make Winnie the Pooh, it's gonna be scary. Yeah, I'm in. And then I was just so disappointed by it being dudes in masks doing the same thing, like Kara says, doing the same thing we've seen for 20 years. It's just a slasher in a mask again. Just, you know, different ways of killing nubile hot actresses who are running around making dumb decisions. Right? I didn't see the movie, but that's the movie, right? It's pretty much the movie. Yeah. It's, you don't have to, it's not rocket science, not reinventing the wheel, but it's also, you know, wasted potential. when you say you're going to take something like Winnie the Pooh, a beloved IP, something we know from our childhood, and we know is something that's very loving and very nurturing, something used to help us grow and learn as children and all that stuff, and has very sentimental attachment to some people. I'm sure plenty of you had Pooh Bears and all that kind of stuff. And you take it and put that sinister twist on it, well, you better deliver. Because you're taking something beloved, and that's why you're going to wind up either, you're going to have people who love it because they don't care about, don't necessarily care about you doing anything different. They just want to see you chop up some teens or whatever it is, 20s, whatever. However, those girls look a little older. Some college girls. They want to see college girls get chopped up, whatever. But some people are going to want a good movie, are going to expect you to take that beloved IP and actually do it justice. What a crazy idea. What a fucking, to actually do a beloved IP justice? Oh my God. And you don't even have to have the biggest budget or anything like that. There's ways to do stuff. It's just do better. Everybody needs to do better. That's the one thing. If we learned anything coming out of 2023, if there's anything that Godzilla taught us, of all people, if there's anything that Godzilla -1 taught us, that is do better. Do better Hollywood, do better independent movies, do better taking care in IPs for directors and producers handling IPs. Just do better, man. That Godzilla movie had a -1 had a tiny budget, and it went out there and kicked everybody's ass. It kicked everybody's ass at the fucking box office this year. It just fucking dominated, and it was a limited theatric run, and it fucking killed. It killed all around the world, but even here in America, North America, extended run. I don't know if it's even still. You might even still be able to catch it in some theaters because it was just such a good fucking movie, and you didn't have to have the biggest budget. They just made a good movie around an IP that is beloved, and that's all you had to do. That's all you had to do. It didn't cost you $1 billion. And now Toho and Japan are laughing at Hollywood, who can't seem to do anything right, with Marvel shooting themselves in the foot every time they drop a new fucking movie, and every IP that Hollywood is trying to revive is failing. They're all failing. All these fucking reboots, remakes, revivals, they're all failing. Hollywood's failing miserably with most of them. And meanwhile, Godzilla's still going strong 60 years later, right? 60, 70 years later. His 50s, 54, 70, yeah, 2024. This will be the 70th anniversary of Godzilla. Yeah. So, there you go. They're able to keep it fresh and make a good fucking movie 70 years later, and be the #1 movie in the worldwide box office, dominating as a big kaiju monster should. So do better, Hollywood. Do better, everybody. Independent filmmakers. You guys taking these Steamboat Willie movies and taking these fucking Winnie the Pooh and your hashtag Pooh2s and all this stuff, and, do something good with it. Don't just churn out a steaming pile of shit cash grab, please. That's all. All right, I'm going to check in on the text line here. Chris checked in and said the book is hitting public domain for Tarzan, so that's a viable one, I suppose. Justin Seelig, is Oswald the Mouse public domain? Can I use old Mickey like the queers use Felix? Interesting. Maybe. I guess we'd have to look into it. You could probably Google it. I think there's a list somewhere of public domain stuff and of IPs that are public domain over the years. Chris Giannetti also checks in. You can use the Steamboat Willie Mickey freely, but not the red pants Mickey. Yeah, I was reading some stuff on it too with Steamboat Mickey. That was it's strictly the black and white one, so no red pants. What is it? No gloves. He can't be wearing gloves. He has to because he just has the plain black hands in the original one, I believe, is also part of it. You can't use the white gloves Mickey. I think the eyeballs, the way the eyes are drawn a certain way. There's certain ones that you can't use. Like if they're smart, they're putting a little, he has like the steamship captain hat on. So they are using that one. That way because if it ever goes to court, if Disney, because this is all just dropping. Disney can still decide to block these fucking movies at any moment. And they can still file cease and desist. They can still sue. They can still, this might not be over. These Disney, these, especially considering that, watching some of these trailers, they have white gloves on a couple of these Mickeys. A couple of these Mickeys don't look like Steamboat Willie Mickey. So we're going to see. We're going to see what happens with them. But that was one of the things I had read that the director of Pooh 2 warned. He said, don't... the Mickey Mouse one is a very particular version of that mouse, so you better be careful. It's not like Winnie the Pooh, where Winnie the Pooh was Winnie the Pooh, and it's... No, there's still many versions. All of the other versions of Mickey Mouse are still owned by Disney, and if you put the wrong thing out there, you will get your ass sued, because they just have... I mean, that's like Disney's specialty. Like Disney and Danzig, they have a department of motherfuckers waiting to sue if they see some shit out there, right? Yeah, Justin says, Chris Giannetti, thanks for the info on the Steamboat Willie Mickey. Yeah, not the red pants version or anything past Steamboat Willie. There were a couple, you could spoof a couple of the early movies. There were 2 silent movies that used the Mickey Mouse character, the same version of him. So, okay, and Chris Giannetti checks in and also says, Disney still owns the rights to Red Shirt Pooh Bear. Okay, so, there you go. You can't have a red-shirted Pooh Bear in these Blood and Honey movies either. So you can just use the name Winnie the Pooh, I guess, and that mask, that likeness, but you can't put the red shirt on them. Funny, just like little way you dress, a color of a shirt or some buttons or something can be the difference in you getting sued or not sued these days. So that's crazy. Yeah, we'll see how this goes, because Disney's going to be on top of it. So, we will see. All right, let me see if there's anything else we should check in here before we wrap. Oh, yeah, this was the other one I wanted to get to. There was one more story we're going to talk about, just a quick little one. The creative director, I should say, behind Lights Out and Annabelle, David F. Sandberg, is returning to horror after working on 2 Shazam movies. And not a surprise when the second Shazam movie was a flop. So, yes, he decides to come back to horror after the blockbuster superhero movie route didn't work out. David, and I'll tell you what, I like the first Shazam. The second one probably suffered from rewrites and reshoots and stuff like that, with them trying to do a little too much, maybe. I think they kind of pushed the Shazam family a little too much, personally, too quick. I enjoyed Shazam, and I felt like they should have just let Billy Batson have another movie or 2 before we really pushed more of that Shazam family dynamic. I think that just kind of muddled everything, because then you just had too much going on. I didn't finish watching the second Fury of the Gods, that Shazam Fury of the Gods movie. And I love Shazam. I fucking love him as a character. And I thought the actor did a great job. And I really enjoyed the first one. I thought it was really underrated. The first one I thought was really good. Second one I didn't make it through. So, but at any rate, David F. Sandberg has had a decade of short film directing credits before he made his feature debut with the 2016 film Lights Out, which happened to be a feature expansion of a short film he made a few years earlier. So he made a short film of Lights Out and then got the money to make a full feature. And Lights Out was okay. That was pretty creepy. I remember it. Maddie Meek checking in. Hi, Mads. Thanks for checking in. Yeah, Lights Out was a pretty creepy movie. The success of Lights Out allowed him to move on to direct Annabelle Creation, Shazam, and Shazam Fury of the Gods. Although, unfortunately, a Lights Out sequel fell by the wayside in the meantime. Sandberg recently confirmed to Collider that he'll be returning to the horror genre for his next feature, which is based on not just 1 but 2 of his short films. All right. So, yes, he's going to expand on some more of his short films. he was pretty successful with Lights Out, so let's see what he's got in store for us. Here we go. When asked if he'll be returning to horror anytime soon, Sandberg told Collider about the short-to-feature project he's developing. We're working on that, actually. That's on the way. I can't say which short film it's based on, but it's actually 2. I'm definitely doing horror next. I'm very eager to get back to that because it feels like I have so much more to do. I have so much more horror in me. I was just getting started with Annabelle Creation, and then I took a superhero detour. There was probably a big paycheck attached to that superhero movie. Don't just blame it on superheroes. You took a paycheck detour, my friend. You took a paycheck detour into superheroes. As mentioned, everybody wants to blame everything. Can that be a rant real quick? Can I get a mini rant for superheroes? TJ, Maddie, Steph Infection checking back in. Everybody wants to hate on superhero movies and rag on them and blame them for everything. Oh man, they ruined the box office. They ruined this. No man, streaming ruined the box office. Streaming ruined shit. What's saving the box office is horror. And superhero movies have never been a threat to horror movies unless it's supernatural superhero or a horror themed superhero, but then it would be a crossover and it would fucking blend. At any rate, superhero movies are not hurting your other movies. Make good other movies, man. Because superhero movies there's a ton of shitty superhero movies now too. Hollywood got their fucking greedy little paws on all the superhero movies now and all the fucking comic book IPs. They got all of them. They got the rights to them all and now they're doing their best to ruin them. They're ruining them. Unless they're the independent ones that are still going animated like... what's his name? Invincible, the animated, which is really good. There's some that are still really good. I'm not going to say all of them, but a lot of IPs are just getting ruined, driven into the ground from these comic books and superheroes because it was the thing to do. Just like the thing to do is to mine these IPs that are going public domain. The thing to do 20 years ago when Avengers hit or whatever it was to fucking mine superhero movies. And that's what fucking Hollywood did. And they drove them into the ground. Don't blame comic books or superhero movies. Blame Hollywood. Blame them. They're the ones that did it. They're the fucking writers. They're the fucking directors. They're the fucking yes men that churned out a bunch of bullshit. Okay? That's where your fucking ire should go. Not stop all these directors when their movie fails, when their drama fails in the box office or flops and nobody goes to see this movie. They blame it on superhero movies. Fuck you. Fuck you. Straight from my spandex fucking heart. Fuck you. It's not superheroes movies' fault. You didn't make a good movie. Or nobody wants to watch your fucking character study drama in the movie theaters anymore. Sorry. That's not the way of today. People want, if you're going to... I'm not going to spend $20 to go to a movie theater and watch a fucking character study in one location. Fuck that. And if you do, man, you have no friends. Fuck, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. But no, man, I would go to the movies to have a good time. If I'm going to watch some character study, I'll watch a character study. I have no problem watching a slow burn. I'll do it at home where I can get up and make a snack, take a piss, fire up a blunt, do whatever the fuck I want, get a beer, whatever the fuck I want. But don't fucking complain when you make some art house bullshit that the public in general doesn't want to pay to see in the movie theater and then blame your movie's failure on superhero movies. Get fucked, okay? It's just a matter of time till they do it to horror movies because horror is what's keeping theaters alive right now. Horror, and they're not talking about this a whole lot. Because the blockbusters aren't bringing it in. Marvel movies ain't bringing it in. The big time directors ain't bringing it in. Revamping shit, 20, 30-year-old franchises like Indiana Jones. That's not bringing people into the fucking theaters. Horror's bringing people into the fucking theaters. Independent horror like Terrifier 2 killed at the box office. Killed at the fucking box office. That's what's bringing people to theaters. So it's coming. They're going to fucking, Hollywood's going to realize it and they're going to start mining horror IPs again and they're going to ruin a lot of them. So be prepared. And then all the directors with their art house bullshit movies that don't make money in theaters are going to start blaming horror the same way they're blaming superhero movies now. So get fucked with all that. But yes, this dude, back to our story. Sorry. And Rachel Bello checking in. What's up, Rachel? Happy New Year. Thanks for tuning in. We're talking horror here today. Well, we're talking horror every day, but we're talking a return to horror by this director who is coming back, who went and did a couple superhero movies. The second one flopped like a motherfucker, so he's coming back to horror. Big surprise. All right, here we go. As mentioned, Lights Out turned out very well for Sandberg, earning almost $150 million at the global box office on a budget of just under $5 million. Fuck. Man, no wonder they gave him a superhero movie. I fucking... fuck. That's what happens. But that's what, I mean, that's where Hollywood should be a little smarter. This guy's a horror director. Give him a fucking horror movie. Give him more money to make more horror movies and watch him do that. Don't send him off into a genre that he hasn't proven himself in yet. He's proved himself in horror. Let him do another fucking horror movie. Fuck. Shouldn't that be common sense? I don't get it. Distributor Warner Brothers and producer James Wan were impressed enough by his work on that film to give him the job of directing a prequel to the Conjuring Universe film, Annabelle Creation. Annabelle Creation earned over $305 million on a budget of $15 million. And again, success. So they did the thing. They did the thing. They did the thing I said they should do. They give him another one. Bravo. Good job. He's done 2 fucking horrors now. And again, now you think they give him another fucking franchise or something, let him run with something, and instead Warner Brothers put Sandberg at the helm of their DC Comics adaptation, Shazam. That film gave Sandberg the highest box office of his career to date, earning almost $368 million worldwide. Of course, it also had a substantially higher budget than his horror projects, costing somewhere in the range of $100 million. Still, that was enough for Warner Bros. To greenlight a sequel with a slightly higher budget. Unfortunately, the box office of Shazam! Fury of the Gods barely surpassed the budget, sputtering out at less than $134 million. So it's easy to understand why Sandberg is ending his superhero detour and going back to the scary stuff. Yep, that's a flop. So, I mean, this was before James Gunn came in and took over at DC. I'll give it that. And they didn't really have a rudder for the ship. The people at fucking DC had no idea what the fuck they were doing with a lot of this stuff. So it would have made more sense to put him on, like, man, if they were going to give him a superhero movie with a big budget, you would think it would make more sense to give it like a horror or supernatural element, like DC's, like Dr. Fate, maybe. You know, put him on something. I mean, DC has a version of Frankenstein that they use. They have the fucking Creature Commandos. There's so much you could have done with them. I mean, even like Zatanna. Put him on Zatanna. She's a fucking magic user. But instead they give him Shazam when he's done horror movies scaring the shit out of people. So they say, hey, let's give him this kind of lighthearted kids superhero romp. Yeah, that makes total sense. And the first one, I mean, it was a good script. It was Shazam. They were doing well at the box office. You know, the people wanted that movie at the time. And the second one just, I don't know. Like I said, I think the second one just suffered from too many characters. Because again, they brought in the whole Shazam family way too quick, instead of just letting Billy Batson have another movie to kind of establish himself in the DC universe. He wasn't even established, and all of a sudden his whole family's got superpowers and doing shit with him. So it was a bit much. All right. Checking in. Steph Infection says, yeah, I'm super proud of the uptick in good and independent films, especially horror. Yep. Horror is keeping the box offices alive. Horror and Godzilla this year. They were the big ones. Thanksgiving, Godzilla. Before it was, the year before it was Terrifier 2 raking it in. And all James Wan's movies do well. We had Five Nights at Freddy's this year that crushed at the box office. Even though it wasn't the greatest movie, it still brought people out to the box office. The crazy thing about Five Nights at Freddy's too, it streamed the same day it was in the box office, and still, that just shows you, people will still want to go and see certain movies in the box office. Horror movies, right? That tells you right there. That's what it is, man. They want to see. They want that scare. They want that. They want the jump scares. They want the adrenaline rush. They want to be on the edge of their seat. The tension. That's what they want. That's what they're going to like, because it's so expensive to go to the movies now. That's what they're going to lay your money down for. They're not going to lay it down for these art house movies. So these directors who cry that they're not making that superhero movies are ruining cinema. Yeah, okay. Nobody was paying for your movies in the fucking movie theater, regardless of if whether superheroes existed or not. So take that shit elsewhere. Oh, Anthony Noble. No, I'm late. Yes. Yeah, Anthony checking in late. We're just about to wrap up. We went for almost an hour and a half today. Yeah, thank you, man. We had a bunch of people check in, had some new faces. Some familiar old faces checking in for the new year. And yep, kicking off another week of horror here at Deadsville Studios. I've got a lot of work to do. Be sure you check out all the reels that we are sharing if you haven't seen them yet. Hashtag Juicy Melons is out there now, the latest one. Me and Maddie, just some, man, spur of the moment stuff we came up with at the supermarket one day, and now the response has been better than anything else we've done. But yeah, I'm back in post-production on Deadsville Rock and Roll Mysteries, and we're going to get it, the pilot episode done and out this year, and it will probably go to some kind of like festival, either some kind of short film festival or a TV pilot festival, something like that, where we can submit it and get it seen before it makes the public round. So bear with us longer. We'll probably cut another trailer, an actual trailer for it, once the episode is all done. There is the teaser out you can watch. I've been resharing now. And yeah, we got some more music videos that are coming soon too, from Dickie and the Boys and the Fear Leaders. So be on the lookout for that. In the meantime, I'm here every day, Monday through Friday, 5 p.m. Eastern. Make sure you follow, make sure you like, subscribe. If you're watching the replay on YouTube, I put these up after on YouTube. You can always watch the replay here on Facebook. But yeah, always feel free to shoot me a message. If you see some news that I should talk about or you want me to talk about, send me some pictures. Oh, that reminds me, I had a picture. Where is it? I want to show you a picture because one of our watchers, TJ, had sent in a picture of his collection, and we haven't talked about, where are you, TJ? There he is. Let's get that picture up here, and I will show you guys. I said we do toys here. As you see, we have my plushie collection. Just a few of the plushie collection. Wolf Daddy here, handmade by Maddie Meek, as well as our little Cthulhu here, handmade by Maddie Meek. The rest I've bought along the way, or were bought for me. There's also an eyeball there from Maddie. But I have said, if you guys have a horror collection that you want to show off, or you have some toys or something you think we should see, you can email me video or send us pictures to deadsvillehorrortalk@gmail.com. Yes, Anthony sent me vids too. I will send that. I'm going to show TJ's first here. We'll bring this up. And here we go. This is TJ Laughlin's Michael Myers Halloween collection. And man, it's quite the collection. Got the stand up, the cardboard cutout. I've got some masks, some Jason masks over here in the mix, but more of the collectibles and the toys. But the huge Halloween section over here, this is just all dedicated to Halloween stuff. And you got pictures of them you can see with Danielle Harris. We know, I know TJ is a big Danielle Harris fan. So, yeah, pretty cool. Is that a Goosebumps lunchbox over there? That's pretty cool. Digging that. Got the guitar in the picture. Got some Michael plushies. Yeah, man, good stuff. We got a little It down here, a little Pennywise. Annabelle in the corner. Oh, man, she got a cool box, too. That one's cool. Yeah, this is the same one I have here, this the smaller NECA Annabelle. Somebody tag TJ. He's make sure he's in here. Oh, there he is. I wanted to make sure you were here while we were talking about your stuff, TJ. Anthony, make sure you're on time tomorrow, man. I'll show your videos tomorrow, Anthony Noble. Make sure you're on time. I'll tag you before I show them. And if you're in, make sure you remind me that you're in. Make sure you check in when you get here. And once you check in, I'll make sure I show your collection and some of the videos at least. TJ says Danielle Harris is my future wife. She just doesn't know it. Yes. Steph says TJ's collection is sick, and he just got rid of a bunch. I got myself a Chucky, and the gizmos we have on the other set from TJ. Oh, yeah, the other gizmo. Okay, yeah. Set number 2 is being worked on as I speak, almost. But yes, TJ's collection is pretty rad. Awesome stuff, man. Good stuff. So yes, feel free, you guys, to send your pictures of your collection in. We will discuss them and show them off here on Daily Booze. Kevin Goodale checking in. What's up, Kev? Thanks for tuning in. We are looking at TJ's collection here, including his giant. That Michael Myers tapestry is awesome too. Is that like a shower curtain or something? TJ, is that a shower curtain? Check in when you hear the question. But that's fucking, because that's rad. I think he said that's a shower curtain. Agreed, Anthony. TJ's got some wicked stuff in there. Yeah, I have a couple of these as well, but here's more Danielle Harris pictures. Some autographs. Nice, good stuff. All right. Well, okay, it's a wall tapestry from Spencer's, TJ says. Nice. Yeah, that's rad. Man, I need a couple of those back here so we could, on our sets and stuff. That'd be cool to have something, man. Big ass wall tapestry. But yeah, very cool. All right. Well, thanks for sending that my way, TJ. Very cool stuff. Yeah, we'll look at Anthony Noble's tomorrow. If you guys have a picture of your collection or a short video you want to send my way, feel free to do it in the DMs or email Gmail or deadsvillehorrortalk@gmail.com. We could also show them on the podcasts. Steph loves toys as well, so feel free to send that stuff to our email and we can talk about it on episodes of the podcast. Yeah, all right, that's going to do it, I guess, for today. Once again, thank you all for tuning in. Really appreciate your time and comments and support. As I'm closing stuff out here. Yeah, 5 p.m., fun time. A little drive at 5 action for those of you on the East Coast. And I guess it's like 3 o'clock for you guys. No, 2 o'clock. Isn't it 3 hours on the West Coast? So like 2 o'clock-ish. But yes, be sure to follow, and if you don't mind, if you go to my profile, I'll show you, I'll demonstrate real quick. If you're hanging in there with us, super appreciate it. As I go to my profile here, come on, up to the top, there we go. And if you go to these 3 dots and you click on them, along here, you will have a invite friends. I don't have it because it's my profile. But you will see your invite friends option on the 3 dots if you go to my profile page. If you do that, and you would be so kind as to invite your friends to follow the page, especially if they love horror, comedy, sci-fi, pop culture, all that good stuff, punk rock music and toys, here's the place to be at 5 p.m., right? Send them an invite. I'm still trying to build my following back up after they zucked the old profile, so it is truly appreciated. Do the same for Steph Infection and Maddie Meek, and yes, and any of the Deadsville pages, Dickie and the Deviants, Deadsville Rock and Roll Mysteries, Deadsville Productions. I know it's a lot. We're going to combine. We're starting to pull it all together into one area, so where you can get it all, hopefully. All right, so we appreciate it once again. And we will see you tomorrow. Same bat time. Yeah, same bat time. Same bat profile, right? All right, Boo Believers. That's it. I'm out of here. Stay spooky.